With Julie Harris there is Red Buttons and watching the two of you guys work together. Wow, I mean, dare I ask how many years of show business we have combined there on that screen?
I'd say 100.
Maybe, huh?
Yep.
And two pros getting together
90
like
for
that.
Julie, 10 for me.
What do the two of you share on the set? Let's go off camera now. When the two of you get together, what do you talk about?
A love and respect of our business, of our craft, of our art, of what we're in, how fortunate we are, and I think that really envelops our lives.
And do you share the fact that in a youth-oriented business, as it is traditionally, here the two of you are still going strong, still maintaining?
Yes, because we're young at heart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, youth doesn't mean just because your skin isn't wrinkled, you know, that you're young. It doesn't mean that at all. My father lived to be 93. He'd have been 94, but I didn't let him. And he was young. He was always young. And yet, I've known people in their 40s who were old.
Yeah. I'm wondering about the younger people
So,
on the set.
You know, what does it all mean? You know, what numbers are what? I mean, see, we kid ourselves, you know. It's kind of living some kind of a tragedy when you live by numbers. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. Oh, I just hit 40, oh, 50, and people get frightened of things. And
William Conrad in an interview
I'm
yesterday.
60, it just hit me. It just, all right, go ahead.
Take heart, because
All right, go ahead.
William Conrad in an interview yesterday suggested, young people, he said, in that great voice of his,
Yes.
treasure the hours that you work, because those are the hours that are the most worthwhile. And you've always worked, haven't you?
Well, I've tried to always work. I mean, you know, I've had my ups and downs. It's been a Humpty Dumpty career at times.
Yeah, but I mean, you're working at what, 3, 4?
Well,
I mean, in a sense, you're working.
making a pest of myself at 3, but I'd say 4. You're getting close.
I mean, where does that come from? A couple of judicious or ambitious parents, or was that
No,
from you?
had nothing to do with my parents, although I did catch the best of both my mother and my father. My father was a clown, loved to sing, loved to kid around, loved to dance. Still dancing somewhere in his 80s, you know. We used to stop him, Dad, leave me alone. He'd do his Kazatskis and all that stuff.
Kazatsky.
And my mother, I got the emotional side from my mother. So I got a good combination. But people were saying to me, Red, how come you became an actor? I don't know how I became an actor. Whatever I caught, you know, double genes there, I caught a great combination from my people, and I give them all the credit.
I want to throw a term at you with the greatest of respect, baggy pants comedian. What a wonderful
I never heard of that.
genre
I never heard
of
that
comedy
expression.
is. The
Will
baggy
you please
pants
explain what
comic?
you mean by that, sir?
I'm asking you to explain.
Oh, you're asking me to explain.
What is that all about? What did it have to do with burlesque?
Well, it was a mode of dress that fit in with burlesque, because you couldn't do that ludicrous material and walk out dressed like Adolphe Menjou. So, you know, it fit. I've always had some kind of a half-baked theory that the things that are really successful in our business is when the physical and the oral really match up. Now, I'll give you an example. Could Jimmy Durante have looked like anything but Jimmy Durante? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you could, Jimmy Durante couldn't work and look like Robert Redford. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Buddy Hackett looks like Buddy Hackett because you know, they match up. The physical, you think about it, it matches up.
Well, you know, Jack Carson used to come through Kansas City's burlesque a lot, and that kind of broad, flat kind of intonation, I think that was suited for him too, wasn't it?
Absolutely. You find your own gait, you find your own rhythm that you start working into, and you become that persona, that whatever you are, that comic force, or that dramatic force.
Is there a training ground at all comparable to what you went through available to today's young comics?
Well, there's always comparisons made between the then and the now. You know, it was ever thus. Even when I came around, you know, people were saying, are there going to be any training grounds the way, you know, it was in our days with George M. Cohan and all that stuff? Yes, there are. You know, people are working and comics are coming out of the woodwork, and they've got your improv and your clubs and your things. It's just a different way that they go, that's all. But yes, there are places.
Can you still take a good fall?
Well, it's a little bit more dangerous today. The only place I could fall today without hurting myself is my head. Outside of that, I wouldn't chance it any longer.
Are there some areas of activity? I'm thinking like Sugar Babies, many of us have seen nationwide. Shows that you can go out on and you can have a good time with some of those styles of comedy.
I wouldn't put myself in a competition with Mickey Rooney. Although Mickey and I are very close friends. We were in the same outfit together during World War II.
Really?
Overseas. And we did a good picture at Disney, Pete's Dragon, and also did a 2-hour special with him, Leave Him Laughing, I think for CBS. Some years ago, and he's been a lifelong pal of mine. But
This is mind-boggling. You and Mickey are in the same outfit?
Yeah, same outfit during World War II, yes. We saw history made. We were at the Potsdam Conference, first troops into Berlin, and everything all over the place.
Contrast to all of this, the serious side, the dramatic roles. Remind us now a little bit of some of that part of your career, too.
Well, somehow or other, that's...
Sayonara, of course.
Well, it's been a prominent part of my career in motion pictures. I've done more dramatic roles than I have any that have been slanted towards comedy. I mean, I find myself in pictures like They Shoot Horses, for instance, you know, or Sayonara, or many other things that I've done, and Harlow's, and Hatari was a light touch, the thing I did with John Wayne in Africa.
But like so many of the cliches, they turn out to be true. Comics can make great dramatic actors. Any thoughts on that?
Some.
Yeah?
Some, not all.
Some that do are some of the best.
Not all, not all. There are, so according to what kind of comedy you're doing, there are a lot of monologists who are not actors, who can stand up there and make you laugh, saying very witty, humorous things, but they're not actors. But there are a lot of comedians who became very, very fine actors. Gleason was a fine actor. Ed Wynn was a fine actor. There are certain people that are wonderful, wonderful actors.
What can Red Buttons do today that he couldn't have done 20, 30 years ago? Let's go at it from that aspect.
Laugh at him. Loaded. I got enough to last me. Well, unless I want to go shopping, let me put it that way. Right?
Yeah, yeah. So in other words, as you get older in this business, you find some things that you can do and stretch with that you couldn't before. And that's real growth, isn't it, still?
You got to stay in there. You got to keep punching. You got to keep slugging. There's no surcease in our business. You just can't take it for granted. You can't lean back, you know, put a halo or a crown on your head and say, I am so forth, and sit around the house and read your press clippings. That doesn't work.
They're going to kill me for this, but I'm going to steal another 30 seconds and ask you, is there a Red Buttons in you that would love to go off in a car like you have in the show? A self-contained, fully provided mobile home and just take off down the coast? Yeah.
That's the one thing I wouldn't do.
Red Buttons. Still maintaining. And I'm John Tibbetts with Redondo Beach in California for KCTV 5.